Hey guys, what's up? It's Malcolm Zunky and welcome to the next game of the Washington Wizards season. We're currently 23-11, looking pretty good, and I believe that is good enough for third place in the Eastern Conference. Behind one of the two teams that we're behind is the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are currently first place in the Eastern Conference. And here's the starting lineups, pretty much the same that it would be in real life, other than the fact that Dion Waiters is obviously no longer on the team. But he still is in this game because I started the MyGm before that trade happened. And that's not really a good thing for the Cavaliers because Dion Waiters is really a chucker in real life and a chucker in this game as well. And he's not the best of an efficient player. So that's one thing that they might have to watch out for. But of course, they have LeBron, they have Kyrie, they have Kevin Love, which may be actually not a good thing, as I'll go into more later on in this video. Kevin Love really struggles defensively, both in real life and in this game as well. So we're starting off the game right here. We're going to do a simple pick and roll, pass it to Joey Bradshaw, the rookie, and he slams it. Great way to start off the game, dunking on Anderson Varejao. Prepare to see a lot of that because the Cavaliers with Kevin Love and Anderson Varejao protecting the paint don't have a whole lot of rim protection. But LeBron gets us right back with an and one. Marcin Gortat fouls him. He gets the layup anyway. It's LeBron. He's really strong, so he can finish around the rim, even with some close contact and close defense. Like Marcin Gortat is a decent rim protector. He's definitely not one of the best in the NBA, but LeBron just too good. Stepping back on Trevor Ariza, who's getting the start today for two reasons. First of all, we needed a better defender to defend LeBron, and Tyreke Evans is just not able to provide that. And also, Tyreke Evans has an ankle sprain, so his overall went down a couple points, as well as he can still play, but it's best not to play him too much because then you don't want him to get re-injured or anything. And Kyrie Irving, probably one of the hardest players to guard in this entire game, finishes easily. He's definitely one of the hardest because he's one of those point guards that is just determined to get to the rim at all costs, and he's really quick. So it's extremely difficult to guard him, almost impossible to guard him on ball, just because if he wants to get to the rim, he can blow by you pretty much at will. And then LeBron just jukes Trevor Ariza out of his jock and finishes the easy up and under. Not really a whole lot I could do there, especially once the shot clock starts winding down. I start frantically jumping in order to block the shot. And then Trevor Ariza gets him back on the other end. LeBron falls asleep on the cut to the rim, and Trevor Ariza manages to finish easily in the half-court setting. You don't get dunks out of the half-court all that often. And then that was almost goaltending, but I managed to grab the rebound at the very last second. And Trevor Ariza is going to take advantage, finishing in transition. And Trevor Ariza is, of course, one of the best transition players I've ever played with in this game. He's just so good for whatever reason. And LeBron falls asleep again. Trevor Ariza takes advantage once again, cuts to the rim, and slams it. And the Wizards are off to a really good start, even against the best team in the East. Unfortunately for the Cavaliers, they are very good offensively, but they're quite bad defensively as Bradley Beal hits a three, just like in real life. So it was very easy to finish at the rim on them just because they don't have any rim protection with Kevin Love. Kevin Love can't do anything. And I pass it down to my rookie center, Marcus Johnston, and he gets to take advantage of the much smaller Tristan Thompson and finish quite easily. And one thing I was really impressed with is John Wall gets the steal on a bad pass, and Bradley Beal, of course, takes advantage in transition with the two-handed slam. That was really nice to see, as I was extremely impressed with the play from my rookie center, and have not been all that impressed lately with Marcin Gortat. So one thing I have been a bit nervous about is who's going to be our big man for the future in the season after this one, and I think we've found the answer with the rookie center because he is 7'1", so he's pretty tall, he's pretty big. He can offer that rim protection just because of the height, and then also he has a little bit of athleticism, a few moves, and he's beginning to develop a little bit of a post-scoring as Bradley Beal hits a difficult turnaround three-pointer. And of course, I'm going to give up an easy basket to Matthew Dellavedova at the end of the first quarter, but we're going to go into the second quarter with a 4-point lead, which isn't bad. And then Dion Waiters starting off the second quarter, bricking a three-pointer as he often does, and then Joey Bradshaw is going to take advantage in transition and finish. So I'm just really happy with our two rookies, Joey Bradshaw as well as Marcus Johnson. I think they're going to be extremely good as LeBron just completely toasts Tyreke Evans on the other end, and he gets completely burned. But on the other end, Tyreke Evans comes right back, and he redeems himself with the alley-oop finish. A layup finish, unfortunately, not a dunk, but he is hurt. He does have a sprained ankle, so I can't really blame him for not going up for that and slamming it. But unfortunately, you know, when Tyreke Evans is guarding LeBron, that's not going to end well as LeBron gets an easy dunk. And that's the reason why I really needed to start Trevor Ariza in this game, and the reason why having Tyreke Evans out there guarding LeBron was not a good idea, but CJ Watson gets to block on Dion here, and then he's running the break, and he's going to lob it up to Trevor Ariza, who's also going to finish with the lay-in. So it's a little bit contagious here, the lay-in alley-oop finishes. I know Trevor Ariza could have dunked that. He is not hurt, but it is what it is. And unfortunately, Kyrie Irving once again getting the rim. This time he doesn't finish himself. He passes it off to Tristan Thompson, who's going to dunk that. And the Cavaliers are keeping it close. It's 38-44 now, a little bit through the second quarter. And the Cavaliers have been able to score at a pretty good clip, even against one of the best defenses in the NBA, as CJ Watson hits a 3 and gives us a 9-point lead now. But the problem with the Cavaliers is they just can't defend anyone, so my offense is just rolling. We have a very good offense even against some of the better defenses in the NBA, and then when we go up to play a really bad one in the Cavaliers, we just steamroll them. And don't let the power rankings of the game fool you. It does say that the Cavaliers are like 8th or 9th overall defensively, and that may be true when you're simulating games, but in a real game setting, when you have people like Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson trying to protect the rim, it's going to be pretty easy to score on them. And we're running the break once again, and Bradley Beal goes up for another vicious slam, and he just absolutely murders several Cavaliers defenders. I believe that was Kevin Love, and if it was, that's really no surprise. That was happening all the time in this game. And I'm trying to guard Kyrie one-on-one, which just never ends well, and Dion actually hits a 3, which is rare because most of them were clanking off the back of the rim when he was launching them up. But that one manages to drop, so good for him. And the Cavaliers must have had some injury problems, as Kyrie with a very difficult finish over 2 outstretched hands, because they had Kenny Cherry playing the backup point guard, who is quite a low overall player. So I'm not sure who the backup point guard would be normally, because Matthew Dellavedova was playing the shooting guard role most of this game when he was on the floor. But the Cavaliers might have had some injuries, and that might have had something to play into the fact where they weren't as effective as they normally would be, because their backup point guard, Kenny Cherry, was really struggling and not doing well at all. But we are once again running in transition. This is just a transition team, finished with Bradley Beal. We go into the halftime up by 12, 65-53. We're shooting 57%. We're holding the Cavaliers to 39%, which is probably even more impressive than what we're shooting at the moment, and really going off to a very, very good start here, as Kevin Love finally does something. He finishes around the rim to start off the second half to give the Cavaliers only a 10-point deficit, and then Kyrie Irving strips Joey Bradshaw, and LeBron manages to finish in transition on the other end, taking advantage of that. And for some reason in this game, when a point guard or shooting guard is guarding a big man in the post, they are very, very adept at stripping the ball. So it's almost like a small guy is better at guarding people in the post than a big man, which makes no sense. But then John Wall on the other end gets the Cavaliers back for that breakaway slammed by LeBron. And at this point, I'm really just waiting for that Cavalier run that I know is coming at some point. This is an extremely high-powered offense team. As badly as they have been playing defensively, as LeBron hits the difficult step back over Joey Bradshaw. Pretty impressive with that shot, but it is LeBron, so you almost have to expect some amazing shots every once in a while. And I know this team can just start to get on a roll at any time. And another thing is Kyrie Irving, when he wants to go off, he can just go off as he finishes around the rim over the outstretched arms of my center and my power forward, and he gets the n1, will hit the free throw as well. And then I'm double teaming Joe Harris on the perimeter for some reason, and Kyrie just cuts to the rim and finishes. That was way too easy, just no defense there. And the Cavaliers have almost cut back into the lead. They are only 2 points behind at this point, but CJ Watson is off the bench now, and he is getting a really difficult finish to go, just flipping the ball over his head. Pretty impressive. LeBron is charging into the lane and turning it over, and we're going to take advantage of that, running the fast break, and Bradley Beal just out-hustles everyone and dunks on the other end, and our lead is right back where it has been, up to 7 points. And then CJ Watson, he's got a pair. He just pulls up in Kyrie Irving's face and hits it, so we're up by 10 at this point after that incredible shot. So that probably wasn't a wise decision for the most part, but hey, when CJ Watson has it going, he's really got it going. But Tristan Thompson on the other end, he gets the nice and one to go. That was a very tough, strong finish by him. And Matthew Dellavedova on the other end, he's finishing as well. And Matthew Dellavedova was just relentless in this game, constantly getting to the rim, although most of his points did come later on in the game in the fourth quarter. But nice, awkward exchange between our two big men there to get the bucket by Marcus Johnson, who just continues to impress. And I'm almost to the point where I'm considering starting him, even though he is much lower overall than Marcin Gortat. Although I'm not sure why, because he doesn't seem like he's all that less effective than Marcin Gortat. although he's a worse free throw shooter and doesn't have a mid-range, but that's about it. But then Donatas Motiejunas just cuts the rim and slams it. I love it when I get those rolls to the rim with the big men. It looks so powerful when they finish, and LeBron also just missing the lay in there, but he did get a lot of those to fall, so at some point they were bound to miss. And CJ Watson finds himself wide open in transition, so he's just going to hit the three, and we're up by 13 points going into the fourth quarter now, which is just shocking. I really did not expect us to outplay the Cavaliers so well to this point, although LeBron is finishing, and he gets the and one to go, and he gets the free throw to go as well, so he cuts the lead right back down to a 10-point lead. But then on the other end, one thing that I realized earlier is LeBron has 4 fouls, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to attack him. I see an advantage to go into the post against Joey Bradshaw, and LeBron picks up his 5th foul, which is very, very key. But what happens is David Blatt does not take LeBron out of the game, so I am attacking LeBron. LeBron gets his 6th foul, and he's fouled out with 11 minutes left to go in the game, which is just shocking. For some reason in this game, 2K does a very, very poor job of subbing players out when they start to get into foul trouble. That was the case here. LeBron should not have been starting the fourth quarter with 4 fouls and should really have come out of the game immediately after that 5th. But we take advantage, and LeBron is done for the night. John Wall is dunking, and at this point, as soon as LeBron went to the bench, it was all out from there. We were constantly running in transition, and we were honestly just mauling the Cavaliers. Kevin Love gets a nice finish, one of the very few good things that Kevin Love did this night, and I'm not going to lie to you, from this point on, it was not very difficult to pull away from the Cavaliers after LeBron hit the bench, as Bradley Beal is dunking over Kevin Love, and that really sums up Kevin Love's night right about there, and I'm lobbing it, probably a stupid play there. But the Cavaliers are coming back in transition. Matthew Dellavedova, relentless to the rim, as I said earlier, but he passes off to Dion, who finishes. And it's an 11-point game, but that is the closest that the Cavaliers would get for the rest of the night. A crazy lob, just tossing it up and letting Trevor Ariza go get it there. And that was, for the most part, the rest of the game, just throwing lobs, shooting three-pointers, stuff like that, just having some fun. And then Kyrie Irving fouls out with 3 minutes 30 left to go, and if the nail wasn't already in the coffin, that was definitely it. So we finish off and we win this game 120-107. Very impressive win over the #1 team in the Eastern Conference. I thought it was impressive anyway, even though LeBron admittedly wasn't there to finish out most of the fourth quarter, so maybe it would have been a little bit more interesting if he was. But good win regardless, so I'm really happy to get this one in the bag. Looking at some of the stat lines here, very even game all around. Trevor Ariza was impressive in his first start in quite a while, 23 points and 10 rebounds. John Wall had a very John Wall-ish night with 22 and 17 assists, as well as 12 free throws, as you will begin to see even more so later on in some of these episodes, is John Wall just lives at the free throw line, because I really don't shoot very many jump shots with him. I'm mostly cutting the rim, and Marcin Gortat 17 rebounds, which was nice, although he's at the point where he's not doing anything offensively for us, and that's the main reason why I'm considering starting the backup, is because the backup is a little bit taller, offers a little bit better rebounding and rim protection just because of the slightly better height and athleticism that he offers, although Marcin Gortat is still solid, but neither of them do all that much offensively. For the Cavaliers, Matthew Dellavedova had a ton of points. LeBron had a typical LeBron night, but overall we held them to a pretty low shooting percentage. We played very well ourselves offensively, and we got the win. So that's about all for me. See you guys next time. Farewell.